This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Welcome to the Research Talks podcast here on Stockbox with Alan Green. And of course, it's the end of the week again. It's a Friday. And how's it looking, Alan, with you?
It's looking very good, Mark. The sun's shining, and I have the prospect of sitting outside for that first pint this weekend, Mark. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a pint of Longman Blonde. I think it's which is a great pale ale to drink. So okay. Yes, I'm going to sup my beer gently tomorrow in the sunshine and think of you.
Thank you very much, Alan. That's very comforting to know. Well, all being well, if the weather's nice, I'll be on my kayak and I'll be thinking of you as I paddle down the canal at the same time with a bottle of beer in my hand. There we go. We can share a virtual moment together over the weekend. How nice that will be. But so today on the Research Talks podcast, we're going to be talking AIS Resources, aren't we? Which is a TSX listed company, but with projects in Australia. And I've interviewed the CEO a few times. There's a lot going on there. He's very sort of bullish about what's going on, but you're going to hopefully tell us all about the investment case, aren't you?
Indeed. Well, I think this is it's a very exciting company. I think we referred to it when we last spoke about this with a clutch of other TSX listed companies. We referred to it as a TSX listed ECR Minerals, and of course we know ECR Minerals and Craig Brown are engaged in a number of gold projects in the Victoria goldfields in Australia, and AIS Resources have a range of assets in the region too. So just a bit to start with, of course, you can trade this. You'll need to sign you'll need to sign a disclaimer with your broker to acknowledge the fact that you're trading outside of the UK. But that it's a fairly straightforward process for most investors. So AIS Resources, they have. They're engaged in what's referred to as the Golden Triangle and the Lachlan Fold Belt in central Victoria, and the first project is the Tulleen Fosterville Gold Project, and of course anyone familiar with the region will recognise the name Fosterville. This is actually the project is sited 12 kilometres only from Kirkland Gold's own Fosterville mine, which produced some 640,000 ounces of gold in 2020, and is probably about the lowest cost gold producer in the world, at $315 an ounce to get it out of the ground into market. So it's incredibly profitable. And of course, Kirkland Lake Gold, the owner, shareholders there have had an absolute bonanza over the past few years. I think shares have risen about 2,500% since they first acquired the mine. So there's a number of work has been undertaken. The company raised 700,000 last year to complete the Tulleen and also Kingston acquisition, the Kingston Gold Project, which is in North Starwell, Australia. And the Kingston project it's a drill-ready property, which has already been explored previously by BHP Billiton and WMC. And the territory there is adjacent to ASX-listed Navarre Minerals. And as you'll see as we go through, there have been a series of developments since that money was raised to make those two acquisitions last year. So the third gold project is the Yalga Green Gold Project in New South Wales. So not actually in Victoria, but not too far away. So the West Wyalong Gold Corridor produced some 445,000 ounces of gold in between 1894 and 1921. Since that time, there are some of the larger mining groups have moved in. The Cady Newcrest mine produces 900,000 ounces of gold per year. That's some 200 kilometers north of the Yalgagrin project. Then you've got the Lake Cal gold mine, which is some 40 kilometers away, purchased by Evolution for 550 million a few years back. The North Parks mine, which has produced it is to the northeast of the Yalgagrin project, produced some 1.4 million ounces of gold over the past 25 years. And then, unusually, the ASX company Thomson Resources (TMZ) has licenses completely around the Yalgagrin Gold Project territory, of course, owned by AIS, and this bodes very well, really, for the developments I'm going to discuss on Yalgagrin shortly. So, just back to the progress by the group since last year. In December, after raising the money, the team they added a significant chap to the team, a fellow called Dennis Walsh, who was the former senior exploration geologist working for Kirkland Lake Gold on the Fosterville mine. So this guy is probably better qualified and has better knowledge of the area and the potential than anyone. So that's an incredibly exciting step for the company to take. We then move into January, where radar geology work reveals potential gold-bearing structures across the Tulane Fosterville mine. Then on March the 3rd, following a placing of where it raised $1.2 million, a private placing, the company started to drill the Yalgagrin project on the Neighbours Farm project, and the CEO said at that stage that geophysics showed a high probability of exceptional gold grades. The CEO is a fellow called Philip Thomas. He's formerly with Admiralty Resources. He's worked on the Nazca San Pedro mine in Peru, the Secret Pass Tin Cup gold mine, fantastic name, in Arizona, and also the IRL Peru gold mine with Aristar Resources. So Philip Thomas has a vast amount of mining experience around the world, and the company have also made several acquisitions in Q1 of 2020 as well. Excuse me. They acquired an option in March on a near 600 square kilometre exploration license in Western Australia in Casterton, and this is close to the Hummocks nickel chromite mine, and this is an area that's prospective for gold, nickel, copper, zinc, chrome, and also gemstones. The company also acquired a 28% interest in Tech One Lithium Resources Corporation, which owns the Inuavase lithium prospect in Argentina, and this is significant because it's next to the Ganfeng and Orocobre lithium producers in that Argentinian lithium triangle. The company also has two historical projects in northern Peru, that's manganese projects north of Trujillo in the Cajamarca region and the El Zorro mine. But really, it's the focus in Australia that has, I think, galvanized interest in AIS resources, and also, of course, the current focus on gold and precious metals, given the backdrop with COVID. So to bring up to date, the company, I'm going back to the March the 3rd when they started drilling the Yalgagrin project on the Neighbours Farm project, and we had some drill results back yesterday, which announced some pretty spectacular returns. So the first drill holes returned 1.5 grams per ton of gold over an 87-meter area, and in another area, 0.9 meters, it returned 9.3 grams per ton, which is most significant. Extensive gold mineralization was noted across the assay results as they came out, and Phil Thomas said that he was obviously delighted with the results, but it's enabled them to build their model and defining, and that they're in the process of defining the character of what looks to be a very promising gold mineralization system. I'm surprised there wasn't more movement in the share price. Actually, it did pop up a bit, but I think I think, as often happens with events like this, you'll see interest in the run up to it, and then some consolidation around the period that the announcement is made. There was also a further addition yesterday. The going back to the Fosterville Tolleen work, where they undertook radar geology work in January. They undertook a ground-based gravity survey following that radar survey, and we'll be hearing back results from that very shortly. So. Okay. So given where the company are, I mean, we have a valuation currently of about 10 million only. And to my mind, given where the projects are in Australia, and I'm comparing this to the likes of ECR Minerals, of course, which has a valuation currently around 20 million. Admittedly, ECR's projects are further down the road, but we still have, three high quality gold projects and a number of other projects around the world. I think there's huge upside on offer here, but I think hiring the former Fosterville geologist Dennis Walsh was a masterstroke, because clearly he's got the knowledge of the area. He understands the geology and the geological anomalies, and with particularly Tolleen Fosterville being just 12 kilometers from the Fosterville mine, I think there's a lot of exciting news to come from the company as we go through the year.
No, I'm sure there is, and yeah, as you say, compared to the likes of something like ECR Minerals, there it's more advanced, but it's about half the market cap there.
Yes.
So yeah, anyone I suppose looking for earlier stage exploration in Australia, in that region, which is becoming more and more hard to find, I think, at the moment, then AIS Resources there have got a great footprint, along with the likes of ECR and Red Rock Resources Australasia, another one, and hiring the geologist. I mean, yeah, from Fosterville, it's great. What a great move that was.
Yeah. I mean, that's the sort of guy, arguably the most successful gold mine and the lowest cost producing gold mine in the world, and you've got that guy on your team. That's a coup by any standard. So yeah. And also his knowledge of the area too, and that's the thing. If you've got a local geo, they understand the geology, the methodology required to access and extract, and yes. I mean, there's an awful lot of excitement about this region, rightly so. You've got Power Metals with the Red Rock Australasia joint venture with Red Rock Resources that owns a number of licenses across the territory too, and of course you've got Fosterville South operating in the area, and a number of other local mining companies. But yeah, it's an exciting place to be.
Great. Okay. Well, Alan Green, thank you very much there. Research Talk this week on AIS Resources, listed on the TSX. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for listening to this Stockbox interview. For more information, interviews and videos, visit our website at stockboxmedia.com or give us a follow on Twitter by searching @StockboxMedia.